You were 11 to 15 years old, and a close friend of April's, so you had borrowed a book from her. Since she knew that you were friends with some of the mutants in the Hidden City, she asked the turtles, who you hadn't even heard of, to get the book back. You were walking to April's apartment when you heard a noise from the rooftop above. When you looked up, you saw the 4 turtle brothers. They started arguing. "They're mine," Leo says. "No, I'm the cutest, so they'll choose me," Mikey responds. "Doubtful. I'm the most intelligent, so they are more likely to choose me," Donnie says in a haughty tone. "Maybe they already are in a relationship," Raph mentions nervously. "I can see and hear you 4, you say to them from the ground. "Who are you and what do you want?" you ask. The turtles jump down. Leo playfully kisses your hand. You blush slightly. Raph says in an annoyed tone to Leo, "Leo, stop, you might scare them." And then says to you, "I'm sorry about my little bro. I know he can be a little irritating at times." You smile and say, "It's fine. No need to apologize, but my question still stands. Who are you?" Donnie says, "I'm Donatello. Just call me Donnie. The dum-dum who kissed your hand is Leo. The big guy's Raph. And the hyper one over there, that's Mikey." You smile and say, "It's nice to meet all of you. I'm Listener. I'm guessing you're friends of April's?" They all nod. Mikey says, "April sent us to get her books since she's out visiting her dad." You reach into your bag and pull out the book, then hand it to Mikey. Then you say, "Here you go. I'd better get home, though." Leo asks, "What, got strict parents?" You say, "No, my parents died years ago. I live with my aunt and uncle." The turtles look at you with a sad look in their eyes, and Mikey hugs you. You flinched slightly because you don't exactly like touch. After a couple of hours, you were getting along with the turtles, but you were kind of curious as to what they were talking about when you first heard them when they were up on the roof. So you decide to ask them about it. They all blush from embarrassment. Then Leo says in a bashful sort of tone, "Yeah, about that." Then Mikey nervously interrupts, saying, "We were kinda arguing about who had a better chance at dating you." You blush and say, "Maybe it's easier if I just explain it like this. I'm Polly." All of the boys already knew what that meant, so they all blush. Then Leo gently grabs your waist and asks, "Does that mean you'd be willing to date all 4 of us?" You blush slightly and then happily respond, "Of course." After a couple of weeks, After a couple of weeks of you and them dating, they notice that you tend to stay with them as much as possible. So they ask you about, "Mi amor, why haven't you been going home as often? Is something going on?" Leo asks. You look down and to the side as if ashamed. Then Mikey gently grabs your chin and makes you look at him and his brothers, as he says, "Sugar Cube, please answer the question. We won't be mad at you. Promise." You cautiously say, "My aunt and uncle are almost always fighting and trying to hurt each other, so I try to stay out of it by staying away from them." Raph says in a kind, compassionate tone. Sweetheart, you didn't need to hide it from us. You can tell us anything. We'll always be here for you. A couple of hours later, and they came home with you. But you all came in to your aunt and uncle screaming. They see you cover your ears and go straight to your room, so they follow you. When they get to your room, they see you just covering your ears and sitting on the bed. So Donnie sits right behind you and hugs you. And quietly, yet calmly, says, "Shh, shh, shh. It's okay, darling. We're here. You're safe." Donnie gently kissed your forehead to get your focus on him, as he says, "Just block them out. You're safe." Then your aunt and uncle come in. "Ugh, listener, talk some sense into your uncle," your aunt says in an irritated voice. "Listener, tell your aunt how annoying she is when she's being like this," says your uncle in a just as annoyed voice. You gently nuzzle your head into Donnie's plastron, or chest, to hide the fact that you were starting to cry. Donnie gently rubs your back as he says to your aunt and uncle, "How about you two don't treat them as the middle person? They love you both, so go away or we'll make you." You quietly say to Donnie, "Please don't do anything stupid." Then Donnie smiles and says in a sort of teasing, sort of mocking manner, "Me? Do something stupid? Never." You chuckle, knowing that he's teasing you, and you say to all four of the turtles, "Love you, idiots." Leo says, "Te amo también, mi amor," which means "I love you too, my love," in Spanish. Donnie says, "Love you too, babe." Mickey says, "Love you more, sugar cube." Ralph says, "I love you to the moon and back, sweetheart." And your aunt and uncle are completely confused, even though you had told them that you were dating the turtles. But they hadn't exactly paid attention. Your aunt asks, "How long have you been dating them?" You respond, "I told you on the day we started dating." Your aunt and uncle realize that they have been ignoring you when you tell them basically anything, so they don't know what's going on in your life. So after a while, they actually became good parents to you. Anyways, that is the end of the story. Bye.